Hello, welcome to Joy News at 6. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM and Hits 103.9 FM in Accra. In Kumasi, we're on Love 99.5 FM and over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including Jubilee and Sun City Radios, Keta, Saboba FM Saboba and ATL Radio Bolgatanga. Get radio, TV and online content on the myjoyonline.com interactive app for Android and iOS devices. Coming up, interdiction of key witnesses in IGP leak tape is considered by my committee as an affront to democracy. That's Chairman of Parliament's Ad Hoc Committee's reaction to the decision to punish police chiefs in the midst of its investigations.
Is it an attempt to blackmail them into keeping silent? Do you want to gag them with the fear of they being dealt with if they speak some more?
They are receiving on cracks, stealing.
We have details as the committee sets the stage for the IGP to face police officers who have accused him of mismanaging the service. Also, cracks develop in houses, including health facilities in some communities in the Shama district, exposing residents to danger following an explosion at a quarry site that killed 5 people.
They are receiving on cracks, stealing, and some of the chip compounds also affected. They are receiving.
We'll also hear from the Western Regional Minister. We have business and also government expects the practice where farmlands are leased for illegal mining activities to stop following a 70% increase in the producer price of cocoa.
And today, if they are moved from 1,800 to 1,300, then the incentive to convert the land to small-scale mining may not necessarily be there.
President Akufo-Addo is meanwhile charging the National House of Chiefs to discourage lease of farmlands to estate developers, warning the second phase of the planting for food and jobs will fail if the practice is not stopped.
I thus encourage you to manage the temptation of converting land for non-agricultural purpose, as our collective interest in food production depends on it.
I'm Amesi Nyamiche Thompson. Details shortly. Now, interdiction of key witnesses was an affront to democracy. That's Chairman of the IGP or the IGP Leak Tape Committee, Samuel Atta Akyea's reaction to a decision to interdict the 3 police chiefs who happen to be key witnesses in the alleged plot to remove the Dr. George Ekufu-Dampare as head of the service. Even though the decision to interdict them was reversed almost immediately, Mr. Atta Akyea believes the decision appeared as though witnesses were being intimidated.
I was very much surprised because, you see, when people have elected to testify on oath and on their own volition, they do not have any sword hanging on their heads. In fact, if they knew that they could be interdicted, they won't come and testify. So if we are not careful, you are on the verge of interfering with witnesses, blackmailing them or intimidating them. Is it an attempt to blackmail them into keeping silent? Do you want to gag them with the fear of they being dealt with if they speak some more? And what is the interdiction supposed to achieve? They realized that it was a very serious mistake and they were good.
Mr. Atta Akyea has settled the matter of whether the IGP would appear before the committee or not.
On Tuesday, all the individuals who had done what I would call the preliminary talking on oath will come back with their lawyers.
Chief Bugrinabo, COP Alex,
yes.
George Mensah,
yes.
Emmanuel JB,
yes.
George Asare.
Sure, the 4 of them, they should come back with their lawyers. And also, the most prominent person whose name is being bandied about, the IGP himself. So the IGP himself should also come with his lawyers.
On Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
Yeah, Chairman of Parliament's Ad Hoc Committee probing the alleged leak tape of the IGP, Samuel Atta Akyea. Now, explosion at a quarry site in the Shama district of the Western region over the weekend did not only kill 5 people and injured workers on site, but also left deep cracks in buildings, including health facilities in 4 communities, exposing residents to danger. District NADMO Director Michael Nyan says steps are being taken to assuage the decision or situation.
Some of the communities around the place have been affected. About 4 or 5 communities were affected by their buildings. Their buildings, they are receiving on cracks, stealing, and some of the chip compounds also affected. So we are collating the data. As for the relief items, as I just said, we don't have it now.
Also, Western Regional Minister Kwabena Akyea Mensah says the company at the center of the explosion, SDA Atsams Enterprise, formerly known as OmniQuery, is not fully licensed to operate per his checks with the Minerals Commission.
We need to intensify our monitoring of all the sites that we have. The other one was like gold, but this one is a quarry. Irrespective of that, they are all mining sites, and we need to look at our safety critically. My information is that the Minerals Commission has not gone through all the process with them. So now that we are doing an investigation, we should be able to catch up with the owners of the mine and then go forward, investigate, and see exactly what is happening.
Western Regional Minister Kwabena Akyea Mensah. Now, the Tema motorway, which used to be one of the best roads in Ghana, has deteriorated over the years and is now in a terrible state. The road is riddled with potholes, which have evolved into death traps, causing several accidents. The Ghana Highways Authority says it is aware of the situation and is working to address it. Here's Director of Road Safety and Environment, Joseph Atta Akyea.
As you really said, there are manifestations of potholes. And then these things have been identified. It's not that we have not identified them, but I know it goes through a process. I think by now, processes are far advanced for a contractor to be engaged to address all those potholes. So I should think by the next 2 to 3 weeks, you see some activity being carried out on the motorway to address all these distresses on the motorway surface.
Another concern for many motorists is the malfunctioning street lights on the stretch. Mr. Akyea says that is also being done.
Before I even came here, I spoke to the contractor. I was a street light contractor, and I asked him to the primary focus now will be at the toll booth section for us to install a solar powered traffic light. Then subsequently we tackle those along the motorway section. So principally now we'll be looking at the toll booth section to enhance visibility there, and then the next stage will be to tackle other sections of the motorway where we need to put in street lights to enhance visibility. So it will be taken care of.
Director of Road Safety and Environment at the Ghana Highways Authority, Joseph Akyea. Now, government expects the practice where farmlands are leased or sold for illegal mining activities to stop, following a 70% upward adjustment in the producer price of cocoa. President Akufo-Addo over the weekend at Tepa in the Ashanti region opened the new cocoa season with an increase in the price from 800 to 1,308 cedis per bag.
A ton of cocoa is now going to be paid for at $1,821 per metric ton. These are prices that are the highest that have ever been paid in the history of our country and indeed within the West African cocoa growing area. We want to get back to the situation where cocoa farmers were rich and not poor.
But some activities such as illegal mining pose danger to the industry and the economy of Ghana because of the monetary incentive to sell cocoa farms. Minister for Food and Agriculture is hopeful the new price will discourage farmers from selling their farms for galamsey.
The galamsey issue is one that you are right. We have to deal with it. Even during the lunch, the farmers were talking about it, and it's a factor of what they are getting for the cocoa. And today, if they are moved from 1,800 to 1,300, then the incentive to convert the land to small-scale mining may not necessarily be there. Then again, the president has directed strongly that the anti-galamsey task force have their game to deal with it.
You heard Agric Minister Brian Echampo. Now, the Chief Justice, Gertrude Tokonu, is expected to set a date today for the hearing of an injunction application against the Electoral Commission by 5 political parties led by the NDC. The parties disagree that the EC's limited registration exercise should be limited to their district offices and have filed an interlocutory injunction to restrain the EC from proceeding with the exercise. There's more in this report.
They are seeking a court order to halt the process until the issues are resolved, with a due date for the hearing of the injunction application to be determined today. Sabe Jemfi is National Communications Officer of the NDC.
We've been told, very strangely, this has never happened in the history of this country. It's unheard of. And since when did the Chief Justice take over the duty, the basic responsibility of the registrar of the court, because giving dates for the hearing of matters is the duty of the registrar of the court.
Legal experts like Theodore Albright from the Center for Social Justice view this decision as a potential violation of social justice principles.
It's an offense. An offense of social justice is an offense against individuals being able to exercise their constitutional rights and, in fact, being able to exercise their franchise.
However, Deputy General Secretary of the MPP, Haruna Mohammed, believes engaging with the EC will be the best approach.
It is for us to be able to engage the Electoral Commission to be able to understand and appreciate all these facts that we are putting out.
And that's Samuel Imbura's report. That brings us to the end of the bulletin. In our headline, we had Chairman of Parliament's Committee probing an alleged plot to remove the IGP, describing an earlier move by the police to interdict chiefs as an affront to democracy. I am Amisi Nyamiche Thompson. Business is next on the Super Morning Show.